Good morning and welcome to PSJA Java Chat, your morning chat with your favorite PSJA ISD Instructional Technology Integration Specialist, where we discuss EdTech tools and trends with invited guests and, of course, our morning coffee.
In episode 6 of Java Chat, Natividad Villarreal, our October's District Tech Innovator, explains how she tackles students reading fluency with technology, making students self-sufficient with decodable book recordings where students work independently and are self-accountable. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Java Chat. This morning we have teacher and innovator of the month of October, Ms. Natividad Villarreal, here with us. She's a first grade teacher at Garcia Elementary. Welcome, Ms. Villarreal. How are you doing this morning?
Good. How are you guys doing this morning?
Doing well.
Pretty good, pretty good. Well, let's start it off with just a simple question about tech and, well, actually your educational experience. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what is your background in education? How did you start it?
Okay, so I would like to say that I started with Ready, Set, Teach in high school, and that's where kind of I wanted to already start being a teacher. I went to Texas State afterwards to study education, specifically bilingual education, and then COVID hit. And that is where my educational career actually started.
Oh, wow.
So prior to that, we were very much textbook. And then we had to go home, and then all my assignments became online. All my presentations had to, become slides. And I will not lie, prior to that, I had really not touched technology. I didn't grow up with that kind of, income to have like a laptop, or they didn't really teach me that in high school. I'm not gonna lie. I took the one computer class in high school, the Microsoft Word, and that was about it. So it wasn't until I really had to, I did my student teaching during COVID, and so that's when I had to start making lessons. And my teacher as well, my CT, didn't know what to do either. So we were both there, making lessons as we went, learning, and that's kind of how, since COVID started, that's where my educational career, and all I've known is technology and teaching because I had to pick it up.
Wow,
Yes.
that's cool. So you were doing your student teaching via Zoom or Teams with your mentor?
Yes. And
Wow.
we were there making lessons and slides through Zoom and trying to figure it out, but it worked out in the end. And so
Well,
I've been using technology since the beginning of my career. That's all I've known since I started teaching, just lessons, slides, lots of YouTube. Thankful for YouTube. Canva, I used Canva since college. Canva is honestly a lifesaver. I love Canva. And so that's about my educational career using technology.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Miss Villarreal, so that's a good segue into this next question. I think you kind of touched on it a little bit, unless you want to kind of add a little bit more onto what I'm about to ask. So you said that COVID was a huge part of what got you into using technology. Was there anything else that got you into using instructional technology into your classroom?
It definitely hit me last year. Prior to teaching first grade, I was a pre-K teacher.
Oh, wow.
And so whenever we would do small groups, I was able to meet with 2 or 3 groups because I had my para with one group and I was with another group, and then the other groups were in centers. So all groups got to be met with the teacher. And then I hit first grade and I no longer had a para's help. So then it was all me on my own, and I had to be able to meet with my students. In the beginning, right now, now they're reading, but in the beginning, they don't know how to read yet. They're learning how to spell. And so I was trying to figure out how to meet with all of my students at once. And so during COVID, a lot of my lessons were recorded. So I decided to just record myself. I don't know if I can share my screen,
Yeah.
but I have examples of my Nearpod because I found that Nearpod was the easiest for my first graders. As soon as you teach them, just type in the code and get in, self-paced, click the next button, they got it. Just teach them that and they got it. So I'm just gonna show some examples. Let me see if I can.
You should have the rights.
It doesn't let me.
It doesn't let you?
No. Okay, wait. There you go. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is like a decodable. So I would send them to, you know, a little group of tables, and they would get their own little decodable, take it to the table, put on their headphones, and this is just me reading it.
We don't have sound if you.
Oh man. Okay, well,
Just
yes,
go to
it's
the
just
middle
me
of
reading
go to the
it.
middle of your screen
The
and
middle.
put your arrow all the way to the top in the middle. Top middle. And it will be
Top middle.
a window will be showing down, and then you will see like a monitor with like a speaker crossed or something. Do you see that or no?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you stop sharing and then you go to reshare, there's a little toggle
Yeah,
that
that's
says
it.
share sound.
Okay, let me try this again.
That way, because we do want to hear it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it says also share tab audio, right?
Yes.
So up at the very, very top, it says include computer sound.
Okay.
You see that?
So let's see.
Cheryl was a girl who loved to twirl. She twirled on the ground and twirled in the air. Cheryl loved to twirl when the wind was out. Those twirls twisted and turned in the wind.
So that's just me reading to
Where
them.
is that? What
This
what
is
app is that?
oh, I also, let me go back to the other one. I use Loom to record myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I use Loom to record my screen and my audio as well. And so that's just like an example of one center that I would do with them since I couldn't be reading with them. They would just follow along. They already knew, like, as I was reading, they would just touch their own decodable that they had in front of them. And then the next one was the practice one. Let me stop sharing it and then share it again to the audio. And same thing, it was just me like doing like dictation, like I would sound out the word for them. Let me go back over here. So they're in, and then it's just me sounding it out 3 times.
Oh, these are Nearpods. Okay.
Branch. Branch.
And so I just say it like 3 times, and they're writing it down and sounding it out with me. So that was my other center that I would do.
Awesome.
Yes. And then I don't know, those are just some that I've done. I have more on here, but I don't want to take up too much time. But that was like I would do spelling, my decodable. I've done like my lessons for the week. I actually have the one that's for next week from last year. That's the ant and the grasshopper. And so I was looking at that one because I mean it's the same curriculum from last year. And so I was already seeing what I can change now that I've been using Nearpod for a year and like been playing around with it. But that's how I honestly got into using the technology into my classroom, and I love Nearpod. I will use Nearpod for anything. Like I know during the summer, during enrichment, we couldn't figure out how to get the kids to do the pre-test and the post-test because you had to log in their whole email and then their whole password.
Yeah.
And so just what I did was I had them log in through Clever and I linked it to the Nearpod. They just had to put in the code and it would take them within their own like name because they're already logged into their Clever. And so I didn't have to type out their whole email.
Nice. Smart.
Yeah, so I will link anything in there and they know how to put in the code. They can do it by themselves already. Like I
Question,
just
have you used these activities and share them with your grade level?
No, I really haven't. I mean, I shared it.
Sure to do it because
Yeah. I mean, I've shared it with them. I have a different team this year, but last year I had another team and they wouldn't really use like I would share it with them and be like, look, this is what I'm doing with the kids, and they were just kind of like, okay. But yes, I have shown it to them, and right now something that Miss Mendez has just showed me was the flip. So right now I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate Flip into my classroom, or at least the homework, so they can start getting used to recording, because I know that right now we're really focusing on the kids getting used to recording themselves for TELPIS in 2nd grade. So that's the next thing I'm going to try. I was already making lessons this week because I'm hoping to turn my homework into all now just recording themselves and getting used to that.
I'm blown away. Like, that was to me, because I'm early childhood, and that was like to me just opened a realm of possibilities. Thank you for sharing this.
Yes, of course.
Yes, I'm hoping that we can invite you to one of our unmute and recharge sessions to do a little,
Yeah.
just an overview of what you just gave us, but
Yeah.
to teachers as well. I mean, hopefully some teachers will watch, and we have a couple people here today that are, getting these ideas, but they're awesome, fabulous
Yeah.
ideas.
Miss Stephanie was also here yesterday for our Q&A. So she's a SPED teacher at Livas, so I think she can get use of what you just showed us. Amazing. Like it's I'm blown away. Like, I'm seriously blown away. Thank you for sharing
Yes,
that.
I can.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, as I'm not the homeroom teacher, I don't dabble in technology as much. So that's why I'm trying to learn a lot more to make my kids more independent. So it'll help.
Awesome.
Yes.
So I know our next question, you kind of already answered it, because we were, asked to tell us and share with us some of the technology tools that you use with your students. So I'm just going to add to that. Are there any other technology tools that you'd like to share? Or also, do you have the students like creating their own products in any way using any of these tools?
So this year we have not touched it so much. We did it more last year, 2nd semester, was them starting to create their own projects on Canva. And so last year we are an IB school, so we do have a project for each planner of each of the 6 weeks. And last year we did one doing the My Plate nutrition, and so the students got to make. We had the template of the little plate, and so then all they had to go. We taught them how to use like the elements on Canva and like just search up like the keywords, like fruit or vegetables, and then they would drag and drop, and then we taught them how to record the same way, like it's kind of like Loom. It comes out a little circle in the corner, and they recorded their presentation. So more 2nd semester, we turned them into like starting to use Canva themselves. Even though we had the template made for them and all they did was like drag and drop, but at least they can start getting used to it, because I know the upper grades start using, Canva for their presentations. So we kind of want to get them used to, Canva, and making projects and recording themselves is like the main thing that we're really focused on right now. Getting used to talking into a mic, talking into the screen, and talking longer. But that was something that they'll start doing more 2nd semester, creating Canva presentations for their IB projects. And that one was actually with one of my good coworkers. I think she won a technology award last year, Miss Juanita Perez.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so her and I like made that template together, and she showed me how to have the kids record. Since her students were virtual, she kind of showed me a lot of like how Canva you can record yourself, because all her kids would record their lessons, their homework. And so that's kind of going to be like 2nd semester, but I'm trying it right now before they leave the break. I really want them to start using Flip and like recording themselves.
And they can use that for recording and explaining their project.
Yes, as well. The upper grades honestly do inspire me a lot, because I see them using technology, and I'm just surprised that how good these kids are getting at using technology, like in a presentational way. Like there's no way I would have been able to make those presentations when I was that age. I'm telling you, I did not start. I only took Microsoft Word in high school, and that was it. And so they're doing a good job, the upper grades, and they're kind of the ones that were like inspiring me of what the kids need, and just kind of getting them ready for that. 2nd grade needs TELPIS. 3rd grade, 4th, and 5th, they do their IB projects. 5th grade has their IB exposition. And so I just kind of want to get them used to, using those platforms.
Yeah, that's really great. Like, your kids are 1st grade, and they're already exposed to
Yes.
they're going to be ready for the real world. I mean, in the workforce, And high school and college, they're going to have to be creating these projects. So it's anybody can do it, and I'm so happy to hear that you're, starting it at such a young age.
Yes.
Yeah. What wasn't that last year you were gonna work? Your grade level was gonna work on the students creating their own city in Minecraft, right?
Yes, hopefully this year we can do it. I know we were kind of playing around with it and we just couldn't do it. We were gonna have them build like a garden using Minecraft. But just like I guess we couldn't really get the game. We wanted them to try something like that, but we couldn't do it. Hopefully
Well,
this year.
Let's start it early, and we'll support you on that.
Okay, yes. Yeah, because these kids, they already know how to do Minecraft. They do. They
Sure.
do. So now it's just letting them, create their little garden and recording themselves of what they did and how they did it. Because that's something that they already know how to do.
So the next question that we're going to ask you is, think about all of the activities, because you've talked about so many different tools already and how you've been using them. So describe your favorite tech activity that you've done with your students. They were like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And you got that excitement of like, I can't believe I created this for my students.
I will say probably just like their centers, like that any technology center that they can get, they want to use the computer and they think it's hilarious to hear my voice from far away. Like if I'm at the table and then they'll press, sometimes they just want to be silly and they'll click it over and over and over. And I'm like, I don't want to hear my voice anymore. But the first time that they saw that, they thought it was so cool. They were like, how are you reading over here? And how are you saying the spelling words over here? And you're over there, like reading. So that was like something new to them. Cause I mean, they came from kinder, and they weren't like, they're not doing that. Cause they're over there. It's more like small. And so I really felt like it made them feel like grown up, that they were like using a computer and they can log themselves in, like just that independence. Like it gave them a lot of confidence that they can do it. And just them hearing my voice, they're so silly sometimes. They thought that was hilarious. They thought it was so cool. And to me, like I didn't think it was anything like wow, because I was so used to recording myself during my COVID lessons, but they thought it was like the coolest thing ever. So hopefully I can create more things as I continue on. This is really my second year in PSJA, and I had not learned about Nearpod until last year. And so it became like my favorite thing. I'm still learning about Canva as I go and like how the kids can use it. And then the next thing I'm trying right now is Flip, like I had mentioned.
So, Ms. Villarreal, you were talking about how technology kind of changed for those kiddos going from kindergarten to first grade, and you were talking about how, whoa, this is a whole new experience for the kiddos, pressing play and hearing your voice all over the room. Kind of going into that similar direction, but more of a personal question. How has technology changed for you as you've been using it over time?
Technology has changed for me in the sense of like, I don't know, I'm always in teacher world. My brain is always in teacher mode. Like no matter what I see on social media, I'm like, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna try some way to do this. That's how we got the Minecraft idea, because I was like, man, these kids are like 5 and 6 building these huge cities in Minecraft. And so it was actually a TikTok that I saw, and I was like, I wonder if they can make their own like, city, their own little garden. And so anything that I see now out there, I want to bring it in here. And I think that goes for all teachers. Like we always have our brain on, like our teacher brain on, like how can we bring this into our classroom, things that our kids like to do right now, like into our classroom to engage them. And I think that's where it has turned. Like social media is not me like checking what my friends are doing anymore. It's more like, what can I bring into my classroom? What's in right now that I can bring into my classroom that my kids are gonna like, or that are gonna want to do, or that I can make into a lesson. So that's how it's changed for me.
Yeah, and social media, that it's a great outlet for teachers to look for creative ways to get those new ideas for the students. And I'm
Mhm.
glad that you're using it to do, or at least attempt to try really fun things like bringing in Minecraft into the classroom.
Yeah.
So I loved hearing about all the ideas that you have, and hoping we're going to get you to share those further for us with some sessions. If you don't mind, later we'll talk to you about that. But do you have any advice? There's some people that maybe are reluctant, some teachers that are reluctant to try the technology integration in their classrooms. Do you have any advice for them?
Um, I would honestly just say try it. It can be intimidating because even though like people see me as younger, like, oh, you've already used technology, that's definitely not true. Like I had mentioned in the beginning, like I grew up very low income. I didn't have a laptop till college until I was 19. I only took one class in college because I had to. I mean, in high school, I had to take that credit. And I was very intimidated by computers, technology. Every time I had a group project, I was the slow typer. And so like seeing myself now, I'm like, wow, like I've grown so much from that, and from that fear of being like, no, my presentation's going to look ugly or it's not going to make sense. It's been a lot of playing around, and also kind of like I was forced into it because COVID happened. And the ending of like the start of my educational career like forced me into creating lessons, recording myself. But from there, like I just started playing around with different platforms, and you know it'll come, because I honestly did not have that background either. And so it'll come, and the kids will really really like it, and they will become engaged. And I always say, like, you know, I'm not going to use technology like as a supplement, like, okay, I'm busy, go do this. It's more of like, think of it as like an extension of you, as more like an opportunity for the kids. That's kind of how I've been seeing it. Because I know right now we are like, do I station, do I imagine math, do all of these things, but I'm going in circles now. But like, I think that, you know, I think that you should really try it, and you'll be surprised of truly what you're capable of. And that there's so much that you can do if you really like take the time and play with it. And so yeah, I would encourage teachers to definitely try it. Mm-hmm.
Well said. I know they just have to try one thing, right? You don't try everything at once.
Yeah, no, I stuck with Nearpod for a whole year. Like that was like my main thing. I was like, this is my safe space. I'm gonna stay with Nearpod. But now I'm exploring, you know, Canva for the students. Now I'm in exploring Flip. I'm about to start exploring Flip. And I have no idea what I'm doing with Flip, but I'm gonna keep playing with it and see what I can come up with it.
Nice. You're on mute, Val.
It's super cool and super easy to use. You're gonna love it, and hopefully soon you'll get to meet our the Flip what is it called, lead, or what did you call it yesterday, Debbie?
For the what?
Feli's title.
Oh, she's the Microsoft lead, educator lead.
Flip educator lead, and she's super sweet, and she supports our district really really well. So you're gonna love Flip, and Debbie is an expert on Flip. I started dabbling on it, and I love it. Like, I fell in love with it. We've been pushing it a little as well, so we can show you ways on how to use that. So don't worry, you're not gonna be alone. I'm gonna come over to your campus, and we're gonna collaborate and make you shine even brighter. I'm extremely proud of what you've been doing and what you showcased to us. I do have one thing. I'm like, that quote that you said about social media is not just to see about what my friends are doing. Now it's about what I can implement in education. I'm like, that sounded even like a mug or a t-shirt for me.
Put it on a t-shirt. Yeah.
Great. So thank you so much. This is the end of our Java chat. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to myself, to Debbie, to Marco. We're here to support you. I will make time to come and see you next time that I'm at your campus. And if you have questions with Flip, I'll sit down with you and we'll collaborate, and also get to me so we can start the Microsoft Minecraft. And with your students, at the earliest we can, they can start dabbling with it, and then you can have that